And hello, welcome back to Frontend Hero. Hope you're all doing super well. In today's video, what we're going to be discussing is Linux ACLs, or Linux Active Control Lists. And it's a little bit of a techie topic, even for myself, but I think it's super valuable to know. And we're going to be going through a real world scenario of how you'd actually use these in your own server. Okie dokie, so let's just jump right into this. Let's say I have a website here hosted on my VPS or dedicated server. Basically, it's a Linux server that you have root access to. So I want to make a change to this website, just say really quickly. Let's say a client has called us up in a panic and they've seen an error on the website and they want us to fix it kind of sharpish. So we log in via SSH as a normal Linux user, and then we try to edit this website here, which is in a directory, let's say called pocopair. This pocopair directory is owned by another user. We try to edit this and we'll get a permissions error, so we will not be allowed to make that update. So that's because every file and directory in Linux has an owner, a group, and a set of permissions that control who can read, write, or execute it. So this user that we've logged in as, let's say Keith D, does not have permissions to edit this website or directory. And just to illustrate my point, probably a little bit more clearly here, I'm going to use this little image. So let's say I'm logged into my VPS again as my main SSH user, Keith D. By default, this user mostly has access to like my own directory, something like home/Keith D. Not very kind of useful. But the website I want to edit again is pocopair.com. This lives somewhere else on the server and is owned by a different Linux user, which again on the graphic is called Poco. Now I could log in as Poco, or I could sudo every time I wanted to edit these files, but that's not really the workflow I kind of want. So what I want is much simpler. I want to connect to the server as Keith D, just one username in VS Code, open the files of the website directly, make changes, save them, and have those changes apply on the server without constantly switching users or fighting permissions. So this is where ACLs are useful. Instead of changing the main owner of the website files, I can keep Poco as the owner, but grant my Keith D user additional read, write, and execute access to that specific website directory. So now I'm going to log in via SSH with my Keith D username and try and edit this pocopair directory, which I have no access to. See the permissions error. And then I'm going to add myself to the ACL and then edit the website again, and then see if the update takes effect. Right, so in my VS Code editor, what I'm going to do is connect to this server here via SSH, as I said. And I'm going to choose netcup. So I'm going to open a folder and I'm going to try to say edit the color of this website here. So if I open folder and let me change the directory here, and I open up the pocopair directory, I'm going to go into files and then hit OK. So this theme is running, I think it's 2025, looks like it. So if I go into the WP content folder, themes, 2025, and let's just say go into style.css here. Let's say I just say everything should be red. And I try to hit save. It does not do that. So you can see here there's a permission error here. And this is basically just, again, I'm logged in as my main username, and I need to be logged in either as pocopair, or there's a few other ways to do it, but we won't get into that. But essentially I need to be logged in with the correct permissions to edit this file, which is fine. So let's get rid of that now. And what we're going to do is open up the terminal. Okay, so now we're in the terminal here. And the first command we need to run is sudo setfacl. And I'll go through this, exactly what these mean in a second. Hyphen capital or hyphen M, and then the user, which is u:, my main username, which is Keith D. And then we're just going to give our permissions, which is read, write, and execute. Now we need to say what directories we are going to basically add. So I'm going to say sites / only pocopair. Now if I hit enter, Now that's done that, no error, which is cool. Okay, first off, right, so what do we do? So we're sudoing in, we're basically giving ourselves root permission to set an ACL on this pokepair directory. And what we're going to say is the minus the hyphen capital or flag basically is a recursive flag. So it goes through every file and subdirectory in this pokepair directory. So we don't need to do this for each additional directory and so on. And the -m flag, I think it modifies the ACL. Not a massive Linux nerd, but I think that's correct. Okay, now what we're going to do is, that's fine for all our current files and directories, but if we add a new file or directory in to this pokepair directory, it won't work. Basically, we'll have to re-add permissions. And this is what we're going to do now. So any new file or folder that we create or WordPress creates, we're going to accommodate that. So what I'm going to do now is to set the same command as just there, as above. And I'm just going to modify it slightly. So after the -or, I'm going to say -d, just like that. And that's good to go. So basically the addition of the -d flag, my understanding, is basically it sets default ACLs on directories. So default ACLs are inherited. Any new file or kind of subdirectory that's created inside of this pokepair directory or folder will automatically pick up the new access permissions. Hope that makes sense. So yeah, that all looks good. And now what I'm going to do is just verify that this is all working. So get facl, and it's in sites, pokepair. And yep, here we can see that the user Keith D has been added to the ACL for this directory, giving myself read, write, and execute permissions. And now with the ability to edit and save files, let's go ahead and try this little CSS one-liner again. So select everything and we're going to say color is going to be red. Save that. And if we go to our browser and refresh, and yes, indeed, that does take effect because now we've added ourselves into this pokepair ACL. So yeah, instead of kind of logging in each time as the user for the website that you want to edit, I think it's very handy just to use one username and then add yourself via these Linux ACLs to each website or directory that you want to edit. So that's it. Little tip there for you if you don't know this already. Very useful information to know. Right, that's it. Catch you guys in the next one. Subscribe if you'd like to, and chat to you guys soon.